Hey guys, it's Doug here, coming to you with yet another video helping transform you from pawn to player in this game we call life. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about signs that you're already connected and communicating with your higher self. Now, guys, believe it or not, and I didn't for the longest time either, but we're actually connected to our higher self and communicating with it all day, every day, even when we were younger. Now, it's a kind of interesting thing because I'm guilty of this myself too, in thinking that it was this incredibly spiritual, profound experience where all of a sudden a 10-foot tall, angelic version of yourself is going to appear before you and give you the answers to life, the universe, and everything, right? And it's not quite like that. I guess it could, you could kind of visualize and conceive it in that way if you truly wanted to. No limits here. But it's a lot more subtle than that because we're actually always connected to him. And there's several signs that I want to bring to your attention because honestly, we're just not aware of how often we're communicating with it. I thought, eventually I'm just going to keep raising my vibration, going to keep meditating, going to eat healthier, and eventually I'll just reach this threshold and then poof. But actually, guys, we're always in communication with the higher self. And just to give you a quick rundown in case anybody was still unfamiliar with the concept, the higher self is the part of you, the version of you that knows everything. Because we're a spirit having a temporary human experience, we go through the veil of forgetfulness. We're in these human bodies, and we forget at first that we're a part of the universal intelligence, the source creative energy that really, created everything. That's just the easiest way of putting it. So at a level, because we're part of source and source is a part of us, we actually know everything already. And it's a matter of simply remembering this stuff, just becoming more aware of it. It's really awareness and remembrance are the two key things that, whenever you, quote unquote, learn something, really you're just remembering it or becoming aware of it once again. So actually, guys, the higher self knows everything because you are your higher self. And that's a pretty stunning revelation to really wrap your head around. I know even for me, the first time I heard that, I was like, well, because it really demystifies it, and in a way you're almost, you're excited to see this big angelic being that's a perfect version of you. You're like a, Greek physique god or, goddess if you're a woman. But really, it's just a state of being, a state of knowingness, actually. So to get into the signs that you're already communicating with your higher self, is they're subtle, but as soon as you kind of are aware that that's what actually transpiring, it makes a lot more sense. So the first and I think easiest way to know that you're actually in communication with your higher self is when you just suddenly get a solution to something that you've been struggling with, or not always even struggling, but just maybe you've been doing the same thing the same way for years, weeks, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what if I just did this? And then you make this subtle little change, and all of a sudden it works perfectly, and this aspect of your life is just so much improved, and all it was this simple little thought or revelation you had. That is actually coming from your higher self because the higher aspect of you knows everything. It knows the optimal or best way to perform any action that you're about to do. So when you just suddenly are like, Eureka, I totally can just, prop this up with a pillow and then all of a sudden this works so much smoother. Small little things like that. Of course it can be large things too. One of the other parts that you're connected, one of the other ways you're connected to the higher self is just when you get inspired to really take action and leap forward on something maybe you've been holding off, and then all of a sudden you're like, nope, you know what, I'm doing this right now. And then you just go and do it, and it works, and it's smooth, and it's just an awesome experience, and you feel good, you're in the flow as you do it. That's another sign that your higher self is near, or in communication with you, however you want to parse it. Now, the next thing, guys, is when all of a sudden you're just feeling really good, you're really energized, and it's just a normal day. You know, maybe you're sitting there watching YouTube, maybe you're doing some work, you know, maybe you're, you know, just any mundane thing, I don't know, maybe you're washing the dishes or whatever. And, you know, something mundane like that where there isn't necessarily a reason for you to just feel great and amazing and loose and, you know, ready to do anything. But you just have this, you know, wave of euphoria or good energy just surrounding you. That's a way of knowing that, you know, your higher self, could even be, you know, other spirit guides or angels helping you out as well. But most commonly it's your higher self just, you know, reminding you that you are in the flow and you're in sync with the universe and you're really making things happen. So that's the third sign that you know, something's afoot. You're afoot, I should say. The fourth thing, guys, is actually when you start to see more and more synchronicities. Because what's a fascinating thing, and watch all my videos on synchronicities if you're not sure about all the numbers and what they mean. But there's actually like a deeper meaning that transcends all of that stuff that I've previously talked about. Not that the numbers don't have specific meanings, but it's this deeper understanding of it that I've recently acquired. And that is that we're actually creating these synchronistic moments. Much like we create everything else in our reality, we always, you just know when to look at the clock and it's 2:22, or, you just have that sudden urge to look at the license plate that says 444, and you start to see these more and more and more frequently. And what that is a sign of is that you're, connected to that higher self, that part of you that's connected to source and the universal intelligence that runs through all things. Because now you're getting that, and you're in the present moment, and you're like, bam, 555, 1111, 1 2 3 4, and you're just seeing it. It can be every couple minutes sometimes. I've been having stretches, these last couple months where it can just be, 3 in a row in the span of 30 seconds, and then, maybe every 45 minutes or so I'm seeing one, and then all of a sudden you'll see like 5 or 6 of them in a row. And this is a sure sign, too, that you're connected to that higher aspect of yourself. So, guys, that's really what I was trying to get across today with this video, is these are very simple signs, but it just goes to show you how simple this connection is. It's a very profound and awesome connection, but it's so much less, mystical than, we first thought. At least for me, and I know a lot of people shared that sentiment as well, where you're sitting there in meditation and you're listening to a certain frequency, hoping that all of a sudden your third eye is gonna burst and you're gonna just start seeing this profound spiritual realm, which that kind of stuff does happen too, but especially your higher self, because that is you're always connected to yourself, of course. So it's actually far less, magical, I want to say, that, when we're coming into contact with our higher self. It's, and it's not that it's not special, it's so special and it's amazing, and I love communicating with my higher self. And I mean, we all do, because of course we love getting those insights, of course we love feeling good. It's just cool when you start noticing all these synchronicity numbers popping up one after another. So it's just one of those things where it feels good, and it feels great, but it's not this, magical fairy tale like experience that we were all I guess in a way led to believe, because in a way that's a distraction for us as well. We're thinking, oh, it's going to be this ridiculous thing, and you just keep waiting for it, when in reality you've been talking to your higher self all along. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. As always, links to my services in the description box below. I hope you check them out. They're very life-changing and profound. I hope to see you on my schedule. Anyway, guys, take it easy, and remember to have fun out there.